Today's topic is impetigo, an infective skin disorder. Impetigo is a common, highly contagious bacterial skin infection, primarily affecting young children but possible at any age. It typically appears as red sores on the face, particularly around the nose and mouth, as well as on the hands and feet. It is most commonly seen in warm, humid climates and is easily spread in crowded settings like schools and daycare centers. Impetigo is a bacterial infection usually caused by Staphylococcus aureus. However, in some cases, Streptococcus pyogenes may be found to be the causative agent. The bacteria invade the skin through minor cuts, insect bites, or abrasions. The infection is highly contagious and spreads through direct contact with the sores or via contaminated items like towels or clothing. The clinical presentation of impetigo may vary depending on the type. Non-bullous impetigo begins as small red spots or sores, usually around the nose and mouth. Lesions quickly evolve into oozing yellowish brown crusts with a honey-colored appearance. Itching and discomfort are common. The lesions typically heal without scarring unless secondary infection or scratching occurs. The second type is bullous impetigo, which is characterized by larger blisters that are filled with clear or yellowish fluid. Blisters may be painless and can easily rupture, leaving raw red areas on the skin. This type primarily affects the face, arms, and trunk. Ecthyma, a more severe form of impetigo, where ulcers extend deeper into the dermis, typically seen in immunocompromised individuals or those with poor hygiene, leads to painful sores that can scar. While impetigo is usually mild, complications can arise, especially if left untreated or if the scratching leads to a deeper infection. Possible complications include cellulitis marked by a deeper bacterial infection of the skin and underlying tissues. Although uncommon, scarring may occur, especially with ecthyma. Post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis, which is a rare kidney complication that can occur after infection with Streptococcus pyogenes. Septicemia or bacteremia may occur in rare cases. The bacteria may spread to the bloodstream, causing a systemic infection. Scalded skin syndrome occurs primarily in children. S. aureus releases a toxin that causes widespread blistering, mimicking a burn. Diagnosis of impetigo is usually clinical, based on characteristic appearance and location of the lesions. Following tests may be recommended in persistent or recurrent cases. Swab culture. A sample from the lesion can confirm the bacterial species, particularly if the infection is severe, recurrent, or unresponsive to initial treatment. Microscopy is rarely used but may help identify the type of bacteria. Antibiotic sensitivity testing performed if antibiotic resistance is suspected or if the infection is not improving with initial therapy. Treatment depends upon the clinical course of the infection. Approaches include topical antibiotics. Local antibacterial ointments are commonly used for mild localized infections, applied directly to the lesion 2 to 3 times daily for about a week. Oral antibiotics prescribed for more extensive infections or when topical therapy fails. Common choices include cephalexin, clindamycin, or amoxicillin clavulinate. A 7 to 10 day course is usually effective. General care and prevention includes regular hand washing and avoiding scratching help prevent the spread. Isolation is very important. Keep children out of school or daycare until 24 to 48 hours after starting treatment to reduce transmission. Avoid sharing personal items. Use separate towels, beddings, and clothing for affected individuals to prevent spread. To summarize, impetigo is a contagious bacterial skin infection commonly seen in children but can affect any age. It presents as red sores that may ooze and form honey-colored crusts with two main forms, non-bullous and bullous. Diagnosis is often clinical and treatment typically involves topical or oral antibiotics depending on severity. Preventive measures and good hygiene are essential to limit the spread of this infection. I hope this brief content about impetigo is beneficial. If you like it, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe the channel for more informational videos. Share with your friends and colleagues.